What's up, guys? So I have finished my review of Jericho. I've reviewed the whole thing twice. I'm going to go over these notes that I took of Jericho. I've got 7 pages. I'm going to try to fit this in one video, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So the opening song is all these things that I have done by the Killers, and it's interesting that the opening lyrics are when there's nowhere else to run, is there room for one more sun. Now, if you think about that, that could be a reference to Nibiru, Planet X. I don't know, just thought that was strange. Popped into my head. Let's see. Some of the stuff I'm going to skip. Now, all throughout Jericho, they reference the September attacks. So, I don't know, in comparison to Operation Blackjack, which is June 22nd, this is the date Blackjack gives, I don't exactly know if this would be a September attack or, if I had to give it a window, I would give it between June 21st and maybe November 1st, because I strongly believe that there won't be November elections just because of the healthcare bill debacle. What's the number one thing a politician wants to do? He wants to make sure he gets reelected. And, it was all over the place. They said everyone who voted for that healthcare bill committed political suicide. So I strongly believe there won't be November elections. But anyway, let's move on here. In the first episode, right before the bombs go off, there's a school bus that goes by that has the number 0226. Now, backwards, that would be 622. The 0, I would say, would be 2010. Maybe that's where the people who wrote Blackjack got the date from, I'm guessing. Because I don't see any more reference to June anywhere throughout Jericho. And another thing that's fascinating is the first season of Jericho, there were 22 episodes. The second season, there were 7 episodes. 7/22. Could be July 22nd. So I'd give it a pretty good window if these attacks are going to happen. Alright, so that's it for episode 1. Episode 2, let's see. I can't find anywhere on the internet. At the beginning of each Jericho episode, there's a Morse code, and I don't know Morse code myself, but I'll probably research that a little bit more and figure out what the Morse code messages are at the beginning of each message, or at the beginning of each episode. I'm going to put a link to the Wikipedia page that has, there'll be 2 links below. One to the main Jericho Wikipedia page, and the second to all of the cities named. I believe, let me see, there's 23 cities in all. So, I'll put those links, okay. Episode 3. Now, I know some people have speculated that there wouldn't be a nuclear attack because it would permanently damage the United States. Well, in episode 3, the fallout that, I understand the epicenters would be probably damaged for a long time, but the fallout that hits Jericho is cleared by the first rain. So, I don't know enough about nuclear fallout to comment at any further than that, but that's how the show goes. Let's see here. Bear with me. Okay. Page 2, where am I at? This is probably going to be 2 videos. Denver is one of the cities named in Jericho. Now, I strongly believe that the powers that be want to move the capital from Washington, D.C. to Denver, Colorado, because you only have to look at DIA and all the weird Illuminati shit going on with Denver to, something's up. So, Denver was one of the cities nuked. I don't think if there's a nuke attack that Denver will be included, simply because of all of the building and DIA with all of its weirdness. Okay. Let's see. So that's episode 4. Episode 5, all phones ring with a message from DHS advising people to stay put, wait for further notice. And then an EMP is fired, which takes out all electronics. Now, I have a note down here. Is that the reason for cash for clunkers? Is that why they wanted to get rid of all the older cars? Or to at least reduce the number of older cars? because newer cars, everything's electronic, so if an EMP goes off, cars are done with. Let's see here. Episode 6, I didn't have any notes. Episode 7, let's see. They lost all the newer cars due to the EMP. And in episode 7 also, they say 3 guys were caught before they pushed the button, so New York didn't get nuked. In Jericho, the guys were caught before they could set it off. They did say that these were all 20 kiloton nuclear weapons in rented white vans. So a lot of this is similar to what goes on in Blackjack. Now, whoever created Blackjack obviously took a lot of stuff out of the script of Jericho because there's so many similarities. Let me keep going here. Episode 8. Let's see. Okay, a town. They ventured to another town, and that town was evacuated on 10/25. And they mentioned that was 1 month after the bomb. So that would put the bombs in Jericho went off on 9/25. Okay. And everyone was evac'd by FEMA and taken to, you guessed it, a FEMA camp. Okay. Blackjack was 6/22. Because like I said, the window, if we're going to have a nuclear attack, which I think we will, that's just my opinion. I could see it happening. It's very possible given today's circumstances and everything that's going on. It's going to be between, let's say, June and November. I think. It could be June, July, or, it could all be all the way up to November. Let's see. Private mercenaries are brought in. Everybody probably remembers American Police Force and the shit they tried to pull up in Hardin, Montana. Well, there's a private mercenary group in this show called Ravenwood, and they're absolute lunatics, private government contractors. The rules do not apply to them, and they just do whatever they want. So, those private, gotta watch out for those private government contractors, man. Let's see where I'm at here, 7 minutes. That was only second page. Crap. Yeah, this is probably going to be a couple videos long. Okay, in episode 9, I had no notes. Episode 10, they had airdrops. Aid from China with Russian planes. And there were messages in each of the cargo containers that says, "Do not fight. China is your friend." I don't know what that means, but also in episode 10, all of the drops were fitted with, they all had RFID, not the chips, but the stickers, like they use at the department stores. So they can be tracked. Episode 11, I had no notes. Okay, episode 12. Okay, this is key. 36 hours before the bombs, the president was due to give a speech. He had an approval rating in the 20% range. I don't know what Obama's approval rating is right now, but I know it's getting down there. Okay. In episode 12, they said midterm elections were on the horizon. These attacks happened just before the midterm elections. We have midterm elections coming up in November. Okay. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this year. Let's see. Next up, 2nd of November this year. Okay, trying to get through these notes here. Nukes were in white trucks. Let's see. And it was said that they were faces of men the faces of the men who will change the world were all U.S. citizens. USA Today. Wait a minute. Oh, USA Today had a contest at the beginning of the show, I forgot to mention this, to find the top 5 towns under 5,000, under population under 5,000. So I'm going to have to check into that and see if that's really happening. President making a speech about leaving the world a better place for kids. Now, I put nuke speech, question mark. You know what President Obama just did with the nuclear weapons thing. Keep in mind, this show was written in 2005, 2006, and it says the president made a speech on leaving the world a better place. Now, it didn't say what that speech was about, but I put nuke speech, question mark. Just something to consider. I'm going to stop this and then pick it up in video 2.